YouTube, what's going on? Gonna try to make this a pretty quick video here. So the last video I showed you guys a couple of styrene trailers that I made, and so I wanted to expand out a little bit. So tried my hand at a house, and I didn't like the way it came out at all. Still have it, might sell it. Not real sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I don't know. I didn't want to give up there, so I made another house, which is this house. So it's all styrene, scratch built, and then obviously after having made the house, I knew that I wanted to make a diorama for it. So I threw together this diorama pretty quick. It only took a couple days to make the diorama. House took about a week, and that was with maybe an hour a night, give or take. I know that seems like a lot for a 7 hour build, but there's a lot of like trim um, and I'm just not very good at it. And then I had to paint. I had to paint it twice because the original color I didn't like, and so yeah, I have more time into the house than I do the diorama. But I think the biggest reason for that is that I've made so many dioramas that I pretty much know what I'm doing as I go through the process. Whereas with the house, it's a lot of trial and error, and kind of just working it as I go. And the steps aren't easy. For me, that's probably, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes worth of work just for the little porch. And I still need to do railing. But I think at some point I might sell this one. I've sold a couple dioramas on eBay that did really well. And then I have another one that is currently listed on eBay that ends tomorrow, and it's doing even better than the last two. So I do think if I were to list this on eBay, I think it would do very, very well. But it's also one of the better, cleaner, more realistic looking dioramas that I've done. But I think that's in large part to just the fact that these streets and sidewalks, at this point, I've done so many of them that they just seem to get a little bit better every time. Because, the sidewalk is actually the whole base from here all the way back is 1/8 inch balsa wood. This is a 3/4 inch styrofoam, insulation styrofoam. So I glue the 1/8 inch balsa wood, and then I plaster it. Once that dries, I sand it. Then I carve out all the expansion joints. So it's a decent amount of work, but I've done it enough times to where I feel like the result that I get is a lot better than it used to be. Still not as good as I would like, but I do think it looks a lot better. So, anyways, so this is basically it. It's just a styrene house, plastic house, with a basic diorama. Everything is scratch made except for the mailbox. The post, I did modify it. I cut the mailbox off of its original post and made a new post for it because I didn't like the way the other one looked. So I did that, and then the fire hydrant is not scratch made. That is actually die cast metal. But everything else, the garden hose, the spigot, the 55-gallon drum's not. The TV antenna is scratch made. The house, the trees, the fences, all of that stuff is scratch made. So I'll show you. This side yard over here is where I put most of my emphasis, because I knew the two angles that were going to be like photograph angles was the driveway and the side house, or yeah, the side yard here. So I did spend a little bit more time on this fence than I normally do. And I might start doing that more often, just because I think this fence came out really nice looking. So might start doing more fences like this. It did take a while, mostly cutting the posts to get them to length, and then painting it was the longest part, because I basically made two different washes of two different shades of gray, and I put half the posts in one and half in the other, and I didn't make the wash thick enough, so the wood wasn't absorbing enough of the pigment, so it took forever to do it. But I love the way it came out, because there's a lot of different color variation. So that's that. And then the dirt, I think the dirt came out good. This is what I always struggle with the most on these dioramas, is getting consistent dirt, especially like high traffic dirt. It's really hard to get a consistent result with dirt. I've always modeled with tile grout just for the scale, but I do think dirt looks better, so I've gone back to dirt. But you know, hopefully I'll get that down at some point. This looks okay. It's not the worst that I've done. Anyways, as far as the diecast goes, I haven't acquired much, but I have gotten a couple of cars that we'll take a quick look at. Starting with this 1985 Toyota MR2. This is from Para 64. And I did wheel swap it. So these are aftermarket wheels, but they are Inno 64 wheels and tires. So it's a Para 64 casting with Inno 64 wheels and tires. Nice little casting. I like it a lot, actually. I think they did a really nice job with it. With the translucent lens insert indicators on the front, flip-up headlights, side view mirrors, really nice sculpted detail. It's got a nice little stance. And then the back of the car is translucent lens insert taillights with all of the trim detail. Also got the spoiler. You can see the one issue with the car. I don't know if I'm going to try to fix it or not. I don't think I am. That's the side view. Sometimes if you take those off, you just don't know what you're going to get. Like, that whole window panel could come off. I just don't want to risk it. So that's a cool little car. Definitely a good price, I think, too, for being a Japanese import. I think it was like $15. You know, usually that stuff is $20 to $25. So, good value. Then I got this. This is a new green light tooling. highly and very highly anticipated, actually. This is the 1987 Ford Taurus. And I've had mixed feelings about it. I go back and forth on the car. I like it, then I don't like it, then I like it. Overall, scale of 1 to 10, I think I would rate this a 6, maybe somewhere between a 6 and a 7. I love the hubcaps, prototypical wheels. I think they did a nice job on the hubcaps. I love the plastic bumpers with all the composite molding with the trim. The Taurus GL graphics on the door. Side view mirrors. All the big issue for me is like the tampoed headlights and taillights. I think they could have done a better job, even with the tampos. You know, the fact that they're tampos doesn't bother me a ton. I wish they would do a better job with the tampo, especially on the headlights, because this just leaves a lot to be desired. I think a toned down grayish color with some lens like pixelated detail would look a lot better. I like the grille though, with that Ford oval. So overall, a cool car. I would scoop one if you want this, because I don't think we're going to see this car very often with the civilian livery. And whenever that happens, the value tends to go up and they tend to get pretty hard to find. You know, like the first civilian release of the Caprice from the Vintage Ad, try finding that car. And when you do find it, you pay for it. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I really just wanted to show the diorama. I may sell this at some point. If I do, it'll be on eBay. I have found that the people on eBay seem to appreciate my art quite a bit more than the people on Instagram when it comes to what they're willing to pay for it. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I'm doing a plaster model kit from a company called Downtown Deco. And it's basically a hydrocal cast brick and stone building. The detail is crazy. Like, I just started it tonight. I didn't get that far through it, but yeah, really looking forward to getting that built. And once the building is done, I'll build a diorama for that. And then I will have the house, and I'll have that. That's going to be like half of a city block. But I think I'm going to do it so that I have a street on one side and a back alley on the other. Because it's a building that is 3 or 4 storefronts long. So it's probably the length of the house. And it's probably about as tall as the house on this side. Maybe a little bit less, but brick and stone. It's got nice windows. I don't know. If it comes out nice, I might order another one and do a semi demonstration video, because I think it's a new company, and the detail in those buildings is really good, especially with all the accessory stuff that they provide. Like the plastic is all, it just seems really good quality. So, but if you want to follow that build, follow me on Instagram. You can also see all the updates on this build from when this house started out as a plastic sheet where this whole front wall was cut out of a plastic sheet, and there's a picture of it, and that's where this whole house started from. And then you can see the evolution of the build from the front wall to the roof trusses, and same thing with the diorama. You can follow that build. So if you're interested in seeing that stuff, follow me on Instagram. It's at optical_ruse, RUSE. So thanks for checking it out. I will talk to you all at the next video.